This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monte Mohr with Realty One Group Music City.
Hi, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at talkmusiccity.com. That's questions at talkmusiccity.com.
Money!
Carey Ann, so good to see you.
So good to see you.
I'm excited about our guest today because, it was a little over 3 years ago that this really sharp-looking young man came in with his beard looking sharp, his outfit. I mean, I swear he must have a custom tailor on everything he's ever worn in my presence. And he was brand new to real estate, but just my first impression was this guy's going to be a success.
A star.
You know,
the it factor from day one.
Fady Athanasyous, thank you for joining us today, brother. We're so grateful. Let me share a quick thing I just learned here recently, and it's relative to what I just shared about Fady here because he gets that point here. So not long ago, they did a study of they broke down this group of 150 salespeople in 3 different categories to sell this commercial building. Okay. The first group had to dress like Fady is here.
Sharp,
sharp, looking good. The next ones wore their business casual. The third group,
khakis,
wore their sweatsuits from working out. Okay.
Okay.
Those 3 people were selling the same product. Okay. Okay. At the end of the time where they had to sell this, the average sale price for the people dressed like Fady was $2.3 million. Okay. Wow. The next group that wore business casual like I've got on is, so don't do what I'm doing, do what I'm saying. The second group sold that same property for $1.6 million, okay? The third group in the sweats sold the same property for $680,000, something like that. But here's the kicker, okay? Here's the kicker. They did that on the phone.
Oh, really?
So the consumer never even saw them. Guess who saw them? Themselves. What does that do to your self-confidence, Fady, when you walk out the door looking like that?
It gave me a lot of confidence.
A lot of confidence.
Like, the man, I control everything and I can do whatever.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So you didn't even have the 5 minutes of real estate under your belt other than taking your test when we first met. And yet I knew you were going to be good just because you look like you're good. Okay?
I love it.
I mean, you solve half the problem by just the expectation, I think. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to tell everybody they need to look like this guy. I'm just saying, if you want to remove, see, when we list a property in today's world, especially, it didn't matter 2 years ago, you could take a picture of the toilet and put it on MLS that it was going to sell for, $100,000 more than asking. But when the market slows down, we have to really focus on removing the reasons why that home's not chosen. Pricing it correctly, photos correctly, presentation correctly, you know this stuff, okay? But we also want to do the same with ourselves and anything else that's, we don't use a phone that doesn't work. We have to depend on that phone. We don't use a car that's not, we're afraid it won't start. I mean, I've been there before in my career.
Sure.
But we prefer not to do that. But looking like you're ready.
Yeah, you're on your heels or you're on your tippy toes, right?
I mean, maybe I'm just old, and maybe that's why I'm thinking this way, Fady. I don't know. I just know that I'm proud of you. You look great. But here's the real confidence. Here's the real backing that up. What I'm sharing is that of 220 agents that we have at Realty One Group Music City, you rank in the top 3 of those agents.
Amazing.
And only 3 years in the business. We just went through one of the tougher years of my 40 years in the industry as far as, trying to figure out what the market's doing and all that, I'm pivoting. I felt like a ballerina after a while. I was pivoting so much, it felt like. But even with all that going on, Fady had one of his best years.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks so much, everybody.
So, Fady, let's talk about that. I mean, I know you're from a family and culture that believes in hard work and getting the job done and embracing the opportunity and all that kind of thing. But Can you share with us a day in Fady's life after you hug the little one before you leave? I mean, or you don't have to go that detail, but my point is, you know, we always try to come from a place of contribution from our show here. We want to work with, you know, share best practices when we can. I mean, some things may be top secret, I don't know. But I think we show the universe when we are willing to be a conduit that we're able to accept more opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's my conviction. So tell us about some of the reasons why you feel like you've done that well at such a challenged time.
So if we're talking about a day, what I do daily, so I think most of the problem with the agent, they never have a notebook. I'm so old-fashioned, and I like my notebook, and I write where I'm going, what time, and all stuff. I don't like to put notes on my phone. Okay. And
I'm with you on that, bro.
Yeah.
That's
old
awesome.
school.
Old
My new school.
100%.
Loving it.
Yeah. And this notebook has to be done at night, not in the morning, not when you wake up. Like, I don't wake up in the morning, I have to do this, I have to go there.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So I do it at night, and I know where I'm going tomorrow. And the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, drink the coffee, have like 20-minute myself time, and just to organize my thoughts what I'm going to do today.
Wow.
And work until the note is done. Yeah.
Work until the notes are done.
Yeah, that's it. And when I get back home, relax, eat. And something I learned, I spend all the time I can with my daughter, and before I go to bed, I prepare the note for the next day.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
What happened, because again, you've been in the business only 3 years, right? So initially, your notes or what your day looks like tomorrow may not have filled up the notebook, right? I mean, were you studying your craft? Were you learning from a mentor? Were you doing, like at the beginning, right? You craft in dial that in where you're learning more, you know, because initially now you're running around, right? You're doing all the things.
He's the leader of the pack now. He's got a team he's building
and
now.
so you're with this investor and you're talking to this person, et cetera. But initially, right, when you started out with the same concept, right?
What was on that list initially?
Yeah, initially.
No, so I didn't start with this concept because I didn't learn it from anybody.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so it took me a little time to figure out how it works and what's best for me and
for you,
for myself.
Right, that's huge.
It doesn't mean it's good for me, it's going to be good for somebody else.
Right.
So that's how.
Yeah, but that's a principle I absolutely believe in, that it should be good for everybody, honestly, for multiple reasons. And I think it doesn't matter who it was, but I think it was Dennis Waitley, who was an old-time speaker that is one that, or maybe Jim Rohn, it doesn't matter. The point is, that was what he said. He said, you know, spend time Sunday evening for your week, but spend time each evening creating your next day. Don't wait till the day is there, just like you don't wait till the week is there, and be disciplined in that process. That's why one of the reasons why I keep a old school day timer, because I can make notes on that on what I'm going to do, and I have my schedule looking at me. I don't trust my phone, even though I've got multiple people scheduling stuff for me. But I think personally, part of the principle here is not waiting for the tail to wag the dog, but being in charge of the tail. What I'm saying is, when you decide the night before what you're going to do, one thing is happening, whether you know this or not, Fady, one thing is happening is your subconscious is working on that project. Your subconscious mind, which is more powerful than your conscious mind, is preparing itself and preparing you to fulfill that list that you're giving it as direction, believe it or not. That actually,
100%. You're right. 100%.
And we can't get anywhere unless we know where we're going, right? Type of thing. And I think so. I'm a big believer in that. I'm also a big believer in not waiting for the thought of maybe I want to do this tomorrow. You should already be putting it on your calendar, right? Like, I want to have this investor, right? I want to work with this person. I want to create a team, right? Already kind of put that, because like what you just said, it's now on the calendar. Like, you're having to you're just making the moves towards achieving what's on the list, you know, for this week or today, this week, this month, you know, type of thing, and or this year. And we're talking at the beginning of the year right now, right? So people are planning, and I think that, you know, is key. I think it's a whole combination, right? I do feel better when I'm in my power suit, my power clothes, right? My confidence, my shoulders go back, you know, I'm in it. Now I'm also can get a lot of stuff done when I'm just in Carey Ann world, right? But there's two different worlds, right? There's, and it kind of goes back, someone taught me a long time ago, like the entertainment world. So you're on stage or you're off stage, writing the next song, right? Like kind of you need both, right? To be able to do that. And you probably have that lifestyle, right? Because you're at home and you're enjoying your family, et cetera. So I think that's, key. So as you, again, achieved awesome numbers in a so-called normalized year or challenging year. I don't know the terminology that all of us want to do. Some of the years spent with some of us just being exhausted from the previous years and kind of just get reorganized. But we talked before about that fire, and being driven for something bigger. Is there something there within you like that you're not on your heels? You want to be on your toes for your family. You want to be on your toes achieving your goals, right? Are you goal driven?
Very intentional.
Yeah, very intentional.
Yes. So about goals, I used before to look for bigger goals, and that stopped me a lot, because when you look at something super huge and it's so far away, it really stops you. It doesn't help you at all, because still the distance is so far and you get disappointed too much. So from last year I started to focus in smaller goals. So get smaller goals and a little bit bigger to reach my goal. So I before I used to plan 90% and work 10%. Right now it's just planning 10% and working 90%.
Lovely.
Yeah. So I have goals for next year and a year after that, and I actually have goals set for myself for the next 10 years. But I'm using logic for this. I don't want to say want to be a millionaire or billionaire in 1 or 2 years, because that's what most people get in real estate. You want to be a millionaire in the first year or the second year.
You said billionaire. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know.
So good. Yeah.
So that's about it. That's about my goals. I have a goal right now to create a bigger team under myself. I have a goal to be the biggest commercial agent in Tennessee. I'm trying to get out of residential and be the biggest commercial agent. I have a lot of goals.
I love that.
I have a lot of goals, but once at a time.
And you should. But I picked up what you were saying. They always say it just takes one step, and then it takes the next step, right? So the small steps equal huge results. It all comes together, right? Achieving. Yes. And do you celebrate the small victories along the way?
I do. I do. I think I used to do every small victory I do, I used to really celebrate or go out or travel. But right now, actually, because I'm used to it, so I really celebrate the big things. When something big happen, I celebrate it. Yeah.
And I do think celebration could just be, at home and, with your family another hour, right? Type of thing. There could be, small things. So that's a huge win. And so talking about the way you get your business and kind of knowing that you're kind of moving out of residential and building that team, did you have a
His team's going to work residential.
Yeah, exactly, right. So you're building that, so you get to do what you love to do and kind of navigate through that. So have you, did you put some focus, and I lost my train of thought there, Monte. So sorry. Do you put your focus on working within a certain community? So we've talked to other people and other real estate agents, and they focus on first-time home buyers or investors, or, you speak multiple languages, 2 languages at least, So do you work with folks that speak one of the, just one of those languages? I think you speak Arabic?
Yes.
Yeah, so do you know what I'm trying to say? Do you try to put yourself in a way that's levels you up because you're very niched? Do you do that?
So no, actually I don't focus on one
you
thing.
love all. You just do
everything.
Help. Okay.
I work with everybody, everything. I had a lot of clients who speak Spanish. That's why I have one of my team, she speaks Spanish. And actually I just handed her a client because I don't speak any Spanish, but I get this client as a referral, and now both of us buying her house.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I don't like to stay in one place or work with just one community. I think it's crazy when somebody does that. I think if somebody just work with investors or work with first-time home buyers or focus in this with all respect, our job to know all, our job to help all, not just to help first-time home buyer or investors. Us as real estate agents, we make dreams come true. It doesn't matter what's your dream. It doesn't matter if you're dreaming just to buy a house. If it doesn't matter your dream to own 10 properties. It doesn't matter if you want to own a plaza. It doesn't matter. So that's what I think what makes a successful agent. You have to understand it all.
I love it. And I think with that, right, Monte, if you're choosing not to be niched, which means you have to study your craft even more, right? Because you have so many more opportunities, right? And so you've got to understand
His funnel is
this.
a lot bigger.
Right, exactly. Which is a huge win. You just you've got to take the initiative and be very purposeful and intentional with studying your craft, right?
Exactly.
With all things, which I think is great. And knowing, because it's amazing to know that you worked with a lot before even having a Spanish team member, that a lot of folks spoke Spanish, you know?
Yes.
How does that happen? Is that through social marketing? Is that through networking, community marketing?
Everything. I think I've seen the best way our team picked a client, and it was an elevator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was Anton. Actually, me and him was in my office going downstairs, and this guy was in the child support office.
Okay.
In there, because our office in the same office, like in the same child support. And me and Anton talked a little bit, and he was like, "We're gonna get a sale today," and I was like, "Okay, bet, let's do it." And he started talking to him, and I was like, "What are you here for?" Blah blah blah. And he was like, "I'm here to solve some problems." And he was like, "Okay, and if you need any help in papers or translation, please come to our office. We have somebody speak Spanish. By the way, we're realtors. And where do you live right now? What's your status? Blah blah blah." And he said, "Actually, we need to sell our home." And Anton was like, "Okay, let's. I will come tomorrow, check the home, and actually, I'm gonna do a cleaning carpet for you for free or something like that." And then we'll start our process, and that's how we meet our client. Actually, social media is great. Social media is good. In my opinion, social media is good for you to be famous, not a salesman. So to be famous, like your name, you're branding yourself. That's your name right there.
Sure.
Everybody knows me. Like I make sales. You can get like a couple of clients from there, but actually face-to-face conversation is number one. Because I can be talking right now on social media about one product, but this product is just good for.
Right.
If we have
Who it
100
relates
clients,
to.
just for 10 clients, relates to 10 clients. But the other 90 clients, it's a big
Right.
big clients right there. Every one of them, they need the same product, but in different way.
Do you talk to people in the grocery store?
I do everywhere.
I know.
I work. Like I get pulled over by an officer, and he took my number because he want to buy a house.
Oh my goodness.
I swear.
That's how you do it. You flip it. You flip it over.
We
Yeah.
talked a little bit. What are you doing? And I was sorry. I was not focusing. I'm moving my stuff to a new house. What do you do? And I told him, my name is Fady Athanasyous, sell homes. That's my page I gave him my business card. That's my page on Facebook. So he started scrolling.
Who thinks about talking
love
to the
that.
cop who pulled you over?
Yeah. Well, when you look this good, I mean, if you got the confidence, I mean, we're just
maybe
going to
that's
do
your
it.
next business model is speeding everywhere, so you can talk to the cops.
I love that. But I think that's where I was headed, right? Being able to have the confidence to talk to anybody, anywhere. And it's really a relationship business, right? You also picked up, I think that's another it factor or something that just makes you really stand out and that I'm picking up on is he's picking up on the clues, right? So he heard Spanish speaking. He knew he had Spanish speaking. You know, he made the connection on there maybe would need to be a want, you know, from translation, et cetera, right? Type of thing. Huge, huge, because you're already thinking, you know,
He's
about
also bringing
tomorrow.
added value. You know, one of his team members owns a carpet cleaning
Yeah,
business.
I
you
picked
know.
up on that too,
So
right?
that's an added value. You know.
Yeah.
And what does that do, right? Well, that allows you the opportunity to meet the person in their home, build trust, rapport, all the things, right, on the
Well,
upfront.
it's that
which
law
is
of
huge.
reciprocity too. Now they're going to want to refer you to other people because you were so kind to them to take care of that kind of a need.
We work in actually in word of mouth. That's that's our goal. Like because most of the clients I get or my team gets from word of mouth. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to teach my client, my people in I'm touring right now. It's you against you. So how
You against you. Love that.
Yeah. So first of all, don't be a cheap realtor. Okay, be a very strong realtor where your client will sit there and listen to you, and they actually will trust you enough to do whatever to do in the transaction. They will follow you. Don't be like that type of agent. Your client doesn't trust you enough. They give you 100 phone call a day. I mean, they're right.
They try to manage
yeah, exactly.
You, yeah.
To manage you, exactly. So, and once
if they trust you, they won't do that.
Exactly. And first-time home buyers, they didn't have enough information, so they ask some questions. But when you work with investors, it's different beast. These people, they understand the market, they understand the movement. So if you're not as strong as them, my advice, don't work with them.
Yeah, know your audience, right? Yeah,
exactly.
know what you're gonna to jump in. I, go back to first-time home buyers. To know all things about helping a first-time home buyer from a real estate standpoint is one thing, but knowing how to get through THDA in the smoothest manner, right? Or this first-time home buyer loan in the smoothest manner. Not everybody knows how to do it, right? So just don't do it. Or take the time to learn the loan, right? Take the time to learn the craft. I love what you said, because I think it's so huge for all of us. It's you against you. I saw this quote the other day. My only competition is my own potential, right? At the end of the day, the blinders are on. Do you for you, right? This is your business. This is your career. This is your year, right? That we can make it however we want. We can dial it up. We can dial it down. And you dial it up, my friend. Nice job.
And I think it's important also that you're also diversifying like that, having somebody that speaks Spanish in your group.
Sure.
Blake and I just hired a buyer's agent, and he's Asian. And we fortunately got a lead from a lady who's from Taiwan, or not Taiwan, but Thailand. And so his parents speak Thai. So anyway, he delivered her some flowers, to make sure there was trust there. She's so old; she's like 80 years old. But the point is, in today's world, you got to be, either learn these languages yourself or add to your team of people who can complement in those arenas.
Huge. And that was a big win for me, adding an Arabic division and also a Spanish division. Now everybody's like, where's this division and where's that division? Because we are so diverse here within Middle Tennessee.
You only need 20 more. We'd
be good. We'd be good to go. But language didn't stop you. Right?
No, it didn't. No.
Type of home didn't stop you.
Nope.
Right? You only being 3 years in the industry, having to learn commercial didn't stop you, right? You saw an opportunity to be able to grow and to grow. I need to learn all, and you took the time to do that, right? Yeah. I think, and being super organized, and I love your old school methods with your notebook. I don't
think Fady knows any limitations. That's one thing I picked up about him. You do not have any self-imposed limitations, do you?
No, I don't. I don't want even to have a client to sell homes. I don't have to have a client to sell homes. So in commercial and residential, I do the same thing. Every night or every morning when I wake up, I just go ahead and rail track or whatever and see like the off-market deals, go to LoopNet and see the blazes and everything available online, and try to see good deals, actually like really good deals. I don't go to any house. So sometimes I go to a house, it's listed in the market for 100 days, but actually it's less than the market value for like 70,000. And I have a list of clients. They used to work with me a year ago, and I know they always looking for rentals. I pick up the phone. Hey, buddy, I have this available. The property available right now. It's been in the market for 100 days, and this is the price. This is the MLS, and we can knock the price 20 or 30,000 more. Would you like to see it? And 90% of the time, I get yes. I want to see the property. 90%.
So you come knowing what they want, take the time to find. It might not be immediate, right? But you know their needs and wants, right? You've got the list there. That's huge. I think that's a big thing too.
Yeah, you continually amaze me, brother. I appreciate you again coming on here today with us and sharing. I just think it's important for other agents to know there are people who within 3 years have become, gotten on the top, and just done it with, with that kind of starts with the right mindset. You follow that up with a good-looking suit.
Thanks so much.
But you also have a balance. You heard, if you picked up what he said, he has the morning for himself, right? He, has his schedule, and when the schedule's done, he has time for his precious little one, and his family, right? So the balance there, I think, is important, because we don't want to get burnt out. We all can be super successful, but then we could drop the mic because we're like, this has been too much, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Organized, right, with structure.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing this month. I'm taking this month off, just focusing on growing, like learning a new skills.
Wow.
Yeah,
learning new skills.
Yeah, I don't want to be doing the same thing I've done last year.
Yeah.
So I had to.
What got you here won't get you there.
That's incredible.
Friend.
3 years into it, and he has that kind of mindset. I still was trying to figure out where I was at in 3 years into it.
Well, yeah, and it goes back to that fire, right? Having that silent roar to say, I want more. Look at me, keep rhyming. But you do, and you deserve it. Your family deserves it. We all deserve it. If you want it, you can get it. It there's nothing stopping any of us.
Like one of the main things I hope everybody picked up is that, I know it sounds simple, but I challenge you, if you're not doing it, you need to do it, and that is plan your day before, that evening before, what you're going to do the next day, and see if that doesn't make a difference in your bottom line and your business, because now you become a meaningful specific rather than a wandering generality that most are, okay? So,
I mean, and you might say, they may say, well, Monte, I don't have this meeting or that meeting. But what I know you do, and I picked it up from you, is you schedule time to listen to that book. Yeah. Right, that podcast, right?
Well, I'm doing something else during that time as well. I have to, I listen to at least one book a week, because I believe our world is changing so rapidly. It's not on one thing. It's like more of an approach like Fady does. I'd rather know a little bit about a lot of things, so that when I meet somebody, I can connect with them on that vein, of commonality. But anyway, Fady, thank you. We'll get you back to you. So what's your daughter's name?
Liliana.
Liliana?
Oh, beautiful.
And she is
10 months old.
10 months old.
10 months old.
But she's already walking.
She is already walking. Yeah. She's biting.
You know what? Aubrey walked at 10 months too. So you've got two powerful girls there. All the things. Love that.
Please get home and give her our love, okay?
Yes, and thank you for being
so
here. And thank you just for being a rock star.
He always had a good smile, but when she came into it's
different.
It's different.
The light, the eyes bright up and everything.
Because he lives around that little finger of hers,
I am there. I'm there. I'm around her finger.
Well, thank you, Fady. Remember, it's you versus you. This is going to be a big year for all of us. If we want it, we can get it.
Brother.
So
thanks so much, man.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for listening to the talk of Music City Real Estate.